All right, let's go. What's up, YouTube? It is day 10. This is actually my third take trying to record this because I keep just going and going and going and talking about the bookstore. First off, before the bookstore, obviously I'm clean shaven. You probably haven't seen me like this unless you've been in the store, but even then I'm wearing a mask. So this is very new. In the next video that I'll be publishing right after this, I'll be talking more about the beer, what's going on there, and I'll be doing the whole monk reveal thing. So for the book update, it's still going, it's still happening. I have to write everything down. So what's going on is there's the owner, there's the middle guy, and there's me. And the middle guy, they're all about it. They want the used bookstore in there. They want me to start moving in and making things happen. The owner isn't quite convinced that it's going to be successful. He wants to see a business plan, which is kind of irritating, I guess, just because I know how tedious they are. Also, I built a reptile business when literally pretty much everybody, including people watching that I've now talked to, didn't think was going to be successful. Which leads me to a quote that I just heard yesterday on this podcast from Ray William Johnson. Ray William Johnson was one of the first YouTubers. A lot of people know his show Equals Three, at least a lot of the OG YouTube viewers, so us adults, I guess. But he made this interesting statement in the podcast, and he said there's people who find success and there's successful people. The difference being there's someone that can find success and stick with it and do this one thing, and there's successful people who are going to be successful regardless of what it is. And I personally feel, of course, that I fall into that category. I just feel like I always try to stay pretty positive, and I just have like this idea that I'm gonna have this overwhelming amount of like energy and drive that even if there is negativity around me or whatever's happening or whatever the issue is, I'm gonna pretty much have enough to just kind of drag it along with me, and eventually it's just gonna get swept up into the chaos of whatever I'm building. At least that's what I see in my head. So maybe that's far fetched. I think it's positive, and it's working for me, I guess. So there's that quote, and it's kind of it ties into this other idea of picking the jockey over the horse in a race. So I think Gary Vaynerchuk said that one. But in regards to the business plan, he wants to see the numbers, and it's a little difficult just because there is no bookstore in this area of over 120,000 people, which I have to bring that up. I feel like business plans probably work better for like the restaurant industry or someone trying to open up like a Human Bean or Starbucks. You can actually get traffic count and see sales, see how many coffee shops are in this area compared to other cities, that type of thing. So instead of sending him a business plan, I sent him a marketing strategy, which is what I wrote down here. And I'm trying to keep this concise because one of the videos went to almost like 20 minutes. So done. Oh, so one of the concerns and with the business plan is he was concerned about funding. How am I going to bring people in? How is this place going to make money and ultimately pay him, the property owner, which is a fair question. And I had to make it a point in what I wrote up that I already have a business. I already have Feeders Unlimited. We're a successful reptile store, and that pays all my costs of living. That pays all my expenses. I can pay my rent. My car's paid off. I don't have any credit card loans or line of credit or anything like that. So I do have some student debt, which I'm slowly paying down. But that's really the only thing. So this used bookstore, the Midnight Oil, doesn't need to be an immediate cash cow, I guess is the best way to explain it. Like because I don't need that money, I can dedicate time without having to have a payroll. Is I guess what I was trying to get at. So also I was trying to write out the momentum that this is getting, which is I feel like it just kind of keeps building. I keep getting tagged on Facebook groups and other apps, or hit up privately like on Instagram, or just direct message about people wanting to donate books, which brings me to the number that there have been over 3,000 books donated since the beginning of the month. And I have other messages and people planning to drop off more boxes of books at my store. And I feel like that's just going to keep happening. It seems to keep happening, I guess. Anytime someone references books, I get tagged in the comments, and then people start dropping off, or I go pick up. So there's that. And like I said, this is pretty much, I just pitched them my entire marketing strategy and a glimpse of what I see this turning into. Also, being that this location is like the heart of downtown Greeley, I just don't see how it's not going to get noticed. It's literally in the center of like, what do they call it? Friday Fest. So if Friday Fest is a thing, people are going to be there. The building that it occupies on the backside is Crest Cinema. So I want to reach out to them and do like a book to movie series. That's going to be part of the appeal. The beginning of the month, you get a book that has been translated into film. At the end of the month, we can go do a private screening at the Crest and watch that happen. There's also the Bandwagon podcasts, which they've reached out to me. So if this continues to happen, I'll be on a podcast doing more of a deep dive into translating, success in freelance photography and traveling to the reptile world to now the book world. Random fact, before I forget, there's a term in the book world called a gaylord. Gaylord is a term of a gaylord of books refers to 600 to 1100 books dependent on genre. I thought that was fascinating. That's kind of the cool thing, is that it's just like your brain just keeps picking up all this random stuff in a new field. What else? Oh, Tribune. I figured if I could get an article in the Greeley Tribune when my store, the reptile store, is completely empty, then actually having a successful business in town and trying to open up a new one, trying to do that, I'm sure that we can get something on the Tribune, which will get some views. Also, again, going back to, there is no bookstore in town. There's over 120,000 people in the area, and there's places that sell used books, but there isn't like a dedicated bookshop. So there's that. Also, UNC and Ames are here in town, so there's a ton of students. UNC has this business program that you can partner up with them, and then you can get like in their newsletter, or if you go to their dining room, sometimes they'll have those little like trifold, advertisements like we can get on there. That's a way to get exposure. Friday Fest. Date night. This is a fun idea. So my uncle and I were kind of scheming and talking about this. And so we think it'd be fun to eventually build it out to where there's a coffee kiosk and also like a limit of 2 to 3 drinks. So we'll get like a tavern license so we can have, wine, beer, spirits, whatever. And we want to make this date night of sorts where once a month or once every other week, we set up like a 2-hour time frame. People pay for this event, and for those 2 hours, we turn off all the lights in the location, and then we give everybody a lamp, like an old school oil lamp. It'll be LED, of course, for safety reasons. But at that point, people can, the couples or the groups, whatever it works out to be, you can actually peruse all the different rooms, all the genres by lamplight, and the ticket will get you, pretty much the lock-in of sorts for 2 hours with all the lights off. You get to take home your book of choosing, any genre, any tier, at the end of the night. And then hopefully when this launches, we'll be able to also offer, one beer or whiskey, wine, one glass of wine, coffee, whatever it is. So, but that's pretty exciting. I think that'll be fun. Friday Fest events, Literacy Month. In my head, it makes sense. I just don't see it not failing. So it's trying to translate that to the middle guy who supports me, all the way up to the owner. So the lease agreement so far looks pretty good. I'm just waiting for him to sign and for myself to sign, and we can make it happen. Again, this video went longer than I anticipated, but I think I made pretty good points. I hope so. At this point, I'm guessing if the lease goes through, if this agreement goes through, then we can start moving in April 1st. That's what I'm guessing. If anything changes, I'll let you know. Also, this is video 1 of 2 today. So if you want to see the reveal, if you want to see me bald and talk about monk life, watch the next one. Please subscribe, hit like, all that stuff. And yeah, let me know what questions you have. Have a good day. Peace.